Good afternoon. Welcome back to English lessons. And today we are going to learn some useful phrases that can be helpful for you in case you're writing a report in exam point of view or outside at any time in your life. If you want to write a report, how to make it a little spicy using some good phrases, good words and adjectives and so on. So I'm sure these slides will be too much helpful for you. And there are several phrases given there in each slide. Out of this you can select the most suitable one for you. Okay, so the objectives of our lessons today is to learn some of the phrases that you can use in report writing. And also you can see one specimen report so as to make you okay for writing a report, and another point would be to write a report as you did earlier. I hope you will send yesterday's homework to me. Okay, and today as well you're gonna write another report, but here you're gonna use some of the phrases that you are going to study today. Here's the first slide. It tells you about the importance of using a formal language or informal language depending on the topic. Okay, you have to understand first the task, what task has been given, to whom you have to write the report. Accordingly, you will decide upon whether the register should be formal or semi-formal. In any case, it can never be informal, should be semi-formal or formal. Formal language structure is very important in formal writing. In an exam type question, you can see some instruction just like giving your suggestions, recommendations and opinions. Okay, so out of these three you can understand that you have to follow a formal way and or semi-formal way. That's it. Yeah, you might be asking why these slides are that important in writing a report. I have some vocabulary. I will be making use of this vocabulary and I will get good marks. But the most important thing or point you have to understand is that the best way to master the formal language is to learn to use phrases associated with language functions. For example, it is high time that a government increased the tax. Here you can see it is high time, and after that the government increased. It's a past tense have been used. Just like it would be a great idea, we did something, right? So the structure is very important. Suppose you use the same phrase and without using the past tense, it can go wrong and you may get less marks for that. So learning these types of structures and phrases are very important. That's why I'm giving you these slides today. Okay, so what can be the possible tips that I can give you in case you're writing a formal report or anything that is formal? First of all, when writing formally, it is appropriate to include formal tone and register. Formal tone and register, these 2 points are very important. The examiner will be looking forward to seeing from you or from your writing is something formal in tone. And second one, you should not use words and phrases that belongs to the friendly register. Just like no need to tell you, I can understand you, hi, wow. These like some expressions that we use in formal registers, and especially some idiomatic expressions are there that are completely informal. I gonna chill out, chillax. So this like informal or non-formal varieties of writings are not possible at all to use here. And also no slang words or phrases, some cockney language or street language that are not applicable here at all. And number 4, no humor, because topics are serious of nature and it's factual. In these types of writing, you are requested to go factually. You have to give some factual information related to the topic given there. Means you have to give your opinion and some facts. That's all about report writing. You don't have to go go after humors and giving some jokes and to create interest or something. That's a way of writing and let be penalized for that by the examiner. Okay, and no personal style is impersonal, or we can say formal. That's why I know this personalization phrases are not acceptable at all. The tone can be written in a second person or third person, and that's better, but the first person is not acceptable. And in case if you have some personal experience, you can still add to the as a support to the main ideas. That's acceptable, but informalities should never be created in your writing. Okay, and the next one would be you should always keep your audience in your mind. That's it, to whom you are writing. That's a part of the question. And the question itself is telling you write a report to your teacher or to your co-workers or to your friends. So what's given there, accordingly you have to prepare your writing. And here we have some of the prefixes. Time fix. And here is our first phrase slide. And this is allocated to time fixers. You might have learned many of the time fixers. Here are some. As soon as we reach there, we can say, suppose you are writing about, about a school trip, or it can be about an event at your school or any other school you had a visit over there. Because you can say, as soon as we reach there, we could see something interesting like that. And we arrived at the site at 10:30 a.m. and the weather was quite nice. This way you can continue. And once we all arrived, we started camping over there. This way you can continue. The journey to the site was tranquil and scenic. So this way you can add some good phrasing over there. Hope you understood. Lastly, we learned what you have to give in the introduction. You have to say the aim of the report and where and when it happens. So this is like some very important piece of information you have to give. So there you can make use of any of these phrases. Okay, the first aims to highlight. This report purports to highlight. This report aims to investigate something, and this report aims to recommend you that, okay, the purpose of this report is to highlight. This report aims to present what we learned from the trip, and this report back purports to highlight what we learned. So there are many of them out of this. Which one is not that much common, but something advanced, just like the last one. You can see this report back purports to highlight what we learned. And that will be fine for you, because you can stand distinctive from other students in case you are using these types of new and advanced vocabulary and phrasing. So up to you to decide. Yes, no generalization, because whatever you're writing in formal way, that's not for you, it is for the public, right? It's a general issue, general topic. That's why generalization phrase is very important. So what can be used for that? Here are about 5 phrases that will be helpful for you in report writing. The first one would be a significant number of students. A significant number of students, and I love the number of parents who supported us or helped us in this venture, or like that. Almost all students, a vast majority of students, a large number of teachers. And so these ones or anything else you can use in this space to create generalization. Yes, when you write a report, that can be, you might have to write something positive, something negative, something attractive, captivating, and something dissuading. Okay, so many things are possible. That's why when you have something positive to say, better use some of these phrases and to create a good impression on the examiner. The first one would be, many students were captivated to see. They were really attracted, excited by something, and students were amazed to learn something new about the factory or recycling center or so on. According to the topic, you can continue. Okay, it was fascinating to see something done. You can continue about the topic, and we all got insight into the importance of something, and we managed to study fascinating facts about recycling, as they discovered that only about 50% of the waste is going to the landfill sites. Okay, so this way, according to topic, you can make use of any of these phrases to make it a little spicy and attractive. When you write a report, it is not about the positives only. Sometimes you might have to refer some of the negative sides as well. Okay, so what phrases can be useful for that? It was appealing to see and hear. Many people felt that it was dash. Notwithstanding the boons, it was totally saddening to see that. Okay. And a large number of students found that the trip was a bit haphazard. Okay, so these like some good phrases keep in your mind and make your writing a little readable and understandable and more catchy and magnetic. I think the number 2 and 3 are really great. You can make use of that one. Right now, opinion phrases. You have plenty of vocabulary related to opinion phrases, I'm sure. But don't simply say, I think, I believe, in my opinion, and what do you say, obvious phrases here. You can give some more flesh and blood to your opinions, using some adjectives and adverbs along with that. For example, instead of telling, I believe that, I strongly believe that. Okay, I'm against it, you can say, I'm dead against it. Okay, and another phrase, say, wow, that's very nice. Number 2, what's that? I vehemently believe that. Okay, so that's very good phrase. You can make use of that. Okay, what a nice vocabulary has been used there. Okay, so I hope you'll be trying to use the second and third ones in your upcoming reports. I'll be looking for that. In almost all cases of report writing, you have to give recommendation in the final paragraph. That is special about reports, okay? And sometimes it is given in the question itself, but in case, or even if it is not given at all, still you have to give 1 or 2 lines of a recommendation in your final paragraph. So what phrases would be helping you for that? For example, you can use, I would recommend that, as a common phrase, and perhaps we could also consider asking, for the reason I have mentioned, I highly recommend visiting. I'm convinced that they should do this or that thing. You can continue with that. In the light of what we observed from the visit, that continue, it is high time that. it would be a great idea if we did something. Okay, so any of these phrases, try to use something good and convincing to the reader. And try to use or select 2 phrases from each category and prepare sentences, write or make sentences of your own, making use of these phrases. That would be the classwork of the day. I hope you will do it and send to me. And I'm still waiting for your answers for yesterday's question. For report writing, I had left a question for you yesterday as a homework. Okay, so solve it and send to me today itself. And along with that, I am waiting for your classwork now. Select 2 phrases from here. I don't want the common phrases. Try some new phrases and something advanced. Select 2 from each group and prepare sentences and send to me. Yes, here is your homework today. You have to write a report about volunteer service. You had been a volunteer at an event or something. Okay, and your teacher has asked you to write a report about focus on 2 points, what you learned from the experience and how it should be conducted next time. Okay, write at least 200 words. Don't forget to use the phrases that you learned today.